What's up, guys? Welcome back to Poolside Chat. My name is Todd, and I've got a different type of video for you today. Let me ask you real quick, though. How many of you guys get bored with practice? Whether you're by yourself or with a friend or a loved one, and you're just sick of playing 8, 9, 10, just constantly running racks. If you do play solo, and you just get bored of the same old drills over and over, sick of researching online trying to figure out what you want to do, that's where you need to pick up Hill. It's a card-based billiards game that brings a whole different aspect to the game. It does have different kinds of challenges, shootouts, different things you can play, but the main is patterns. It's got an easy, a medium, and a hard. I'm going to put quotations on that one there. But for your average player, this is a great way to start. If you do play League quite often, you're a higher skill level tournament player, probably want to move up to the expansion pack. I'm told this is quite a bit tougher. I haven't really dove into this one a whole lot yet, so we're going to get into that to another day. But for now, let's dive into this and see what all you can do with this. All right, guys, let's dive into Hill. Don't worry, they come with instructions. Different ways you can run the game, different ideas, but let's dive in and see what you get with the cards. Like I said, there are a lot of options here. They got challenge cards, different fun ways of doing things, like rack 3 balls, try to break and make them all in 4 shots or less. That's worth 2 points against a friend. They also have rack 8 ball break and run any 8 balls. That's a little more difficult for some. Successfully bank a long table or like a vertical bank shot. Just a couple ideas. They have scratch cards that you can add onto your play to add a level of difficulty. Super cool, super fun. They've got some really good scratch cards. I've really enjoyed those. They also have what's called a bridge card, which kind of helps you a little bit. Use this card to move any one ball to a new location on a future run card. So kind of benefits you if you're struggling with a pattern, get a ball off the rail or whatever it is you're battling here. But for instance, let me show you here. So as an example, this right here, let me zoom in here just a little bit. So this is just an idea of one pattern. So you start with the basic, which traditionally you're going to have 3 balls and then the 8 ball, which is going to be over on the side row for this pattern. The medium, they tend to add 1 more ball. Hard, they add another, so now you got 5 balls and then the 8. If you are a low level handicap, you don't have to shoot the 8 ball last. You can shoot it at any time if it makes it easier on you. If you are a mid or high level handicap, that's where you want to shoot the 8 ball last. Good mental play there. But it's kind of a cool concept. And like I said, you've got a ton of pattern ideas. If you are playing by yourself, and let's just say you struggle with rail shots, look at this. How is that not going to make you better? What if you struggle when all the balls are clumped near the rail and you got the 8 ball hanging because your opponent didn't quite run out? Here's a medium, just kind of give you an idea, 1 less ball, but still, rail shots, you got at least 1 hanger, kind of a duck ball to kind of help fix your pattern, but this is a seriously cool game, and I'm telling you, you guys absolutely need to buy this one. Some are a little bit easier. You got 1 rail, but everything's just out in the open. So pick your pattern. How do you want to run it? It's fun. And you'll notice that all the beginners, see if I can zoom in just a little bit there. The beginners, they just put the 1 on those. When you get up to higher levels, and they just put 3s as all the balls. So it doesn't matter what balls you grab. Just grab 5 balls or grab 3 balls and the 8. And that's all you got to do is just set those up, run them in any order. Again, If you want to leave the 8-ball last, you can. Circling the drain. Just not saying that these are necessarily exactly as you see in games, but these are kind of patterns that can drastically help your game as you're learning to get better at playing pool. How about that one? Just adds one more, a little bit more difficult. So you always start with ball in hand, find your pattern, try to run out. So tell you what, let's dive into a couple. All right, guys. We're going to start out with circling the drain. You see it's got 3 balls, 8-ball on the head rail. This is where we are. So like I said, you just pick any balls. Numbers don't matter as long as you got the 8 out there in the appropriate spot. And you kind of figure out your pattern. So for me on this one, the hardest one to get shape on is the 9-ball. So that's where I'm going to take ball in hand, put the 9 in the hole, and put just a little bit of draw to come back out, and ideally leave myself the 4. Let's see how that works out. So like I said, I'm going to start with the 9-ball. You want to give yourself a little bit of an angle so you don't have to get too crazy with spin. Just a little bit of straight low. Pull back out into the table. Leave yourself that 4. Not too bad. Pulled back just a little bit more than I wanted. Got real straight, but the 4 is close enough to the pocket. I can cheat it just a little bit to the right and stun over for the 5. Didn't quite get the stun that I wanted. So what we're going to do, we're going to still play the 5 over there and just try to leave the cue ball on this side of the table to give myself a nice easy 8. And that's not too shabby. So now 8-ball, corner pocket. Let's move on to the medium. All right, guys. Moving on to circling the drain 2. Kind of a medium. Same pattern, except now you have a 2nd ball up on the side rail. And that does change the pattern because you don't want to end with the 4-ball when you got to get back up table for the 6. So for me, I'm starting with that 4-ball and try to leave myself the 5. Let's see what that looks like. So ideally, you want to cut that in, but you don't want to disrupt the 9 because you don't want to bump the 9, put it anywhere near the 8, let alone get in the mix. So top with just a slight bit of left to bring the cue ball out. I want to end up somewhere over here to leave myself that 5-ball. Let's see how this works. Ooh, need to get off the rail a little bit. So now, this is going to be a little tougher because I am close to the rail. So now I might have to hike up a little bit, just put a slight bit of draw and pull back out. Ideally, I want to be somewhere right here on this side of the tangent line of the 9. So I'm going to have to move the camera just a little bit here just so I can stroke the ball. So get your line and then hike up just a little. If I do overstroke it, because I do have some distance, ideally I get up table for the 6. And that should work. Cue ball came a little bit further up table, but that actually works out in our favor. Because now, just going to cut this in just maybe a slight bit below center. Just try to drag that cue ball right close to the dot. If it goes a little far, not a problem. And that works out because you can see I am just a little bit on the right side of the tangent line. So just straight top English should lead me to a nice, easy, straight 8-ball. There we go. So now, 8-ball, corner pocket. That's medium. Let's move on to the hard. All right, guys. Now we're moving on to circling the drain 3. Edge yet another ball kind of out in the open now. Looks something like this. So you can really run this one very similar to the last one. The only difference is instead of starting with a rail shot, if you do a stop shot on the 4, then now you gives you that 5-ball and essentially run the pattern in the same way. So let's see how this one works. I want to give myself a good straight shot so I can just do a stop shot. Okay. So, just like the last one, left myself pretty similar to the same shot. So we're going to put that 5 in, top, just a slight twist of left to not disrupt the 2-ball. Beautiful. Okay. So now, basically I'm going to treat this the exact same way as I did the last one. Try to miss that 2-ball, get myself up table for a 6. That one feels pretty good. So now, same kind of thing. Just stun over to the side rail for the 2. Ideally get off the rail just for a little breathing room. Okay. Sorry guys, my room's a little cramped, so my cue is kind of bumping into my sidewall here. But we're going to try to put that 2 right there, top right English, and try to spin over to this other side of the table. A little more difficult. Did not really give myself perfect, but you don't need to be perfect. Just need a shot. 8-ball, corner pocket. So that, guys, is how you play Hill Hill. Fun way to practice, challenge yourself. You get 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. At the end of the game, if you are playing with a friend, I think the rules say you play to 10. You can really do whatever you want. You can handicap it. If you know someone's really good, you go to 10, your friend goes to 15. Make it up as you go. But it gets you playing, it gets you working, and seeing patterns. And I'm telling you, this has helped a ton, not just in my game, but my girlfriend's game, she's an APA 5. You've seen her on the Scotch Doubles videos, I'm sure by now. But she would not practice with me. When she did want to practice, it was, let's just run racks of 8, racks of 9, and I couldn't get her to do a formal practice. I got this. It's got her thinking about patterns better, her game is improving, and I'm not truly working with her. So, again, you guys need to get out there, get on Amazon, order yourself Hill Hill. I can't recommend it enough. Maybe in the future we'll run some more of these. See you then. Thanks, guys.